Ozark season 4, part 1. So for those that don't know about Ozark, if you don't know about Ozark, we're in season 4, part 1. Basically, family launders money. That's all you need to know because I don't want to ruin anything for anybody getting into it. But if you're reading this review, you probably already seen everything going up to this point. So, Jason, what did you think of Ozark season 4, part 1?
Dude, like this show is stressful. like I don't know, like I love this show, but it's just like I can't watch it. I'm too stressed. I'm like, these dudes are about to get murdered somehow. Something's gonna happen to them. Like I am all for the Bird family trying to make it off to their happy go, get past, their drug money laundering ways and become finally a, upstanding members of society. But their path towards that is just God, y'all just like just living on the edge.
Just messy, messy, messy.
Yeah. Like of things that I would not do. I would never launder money for drug cartels, obviously. But if I did do that, like there would be like a certain lot of lines that I would not cross. Like, I'd be like, hey, if they were like, yo, you need to come down there, I'd be like, no, I don't. I don't need, I'm not going down there to see nobody. B, I would stop watching people get murdered in front of me, and then still be like, "Fuck them, fuck these guys. I don't give a shit about these guys." And C, I don't know, like, be nicer to my kids. I think, like, try to be a little bit more, like, understanding, and a little bit kinder to them, because it's stressful for them too that you guys work for the drug cartel, especially since they know. But yeah, I
Right.
like this show. Like freaking Jason Bateman and Jesus Christ.
Lindy, I can't think of her first
I
name.
can't think of her name either, but they're just both just pitch perfect for these parts. Uh the girl that plays uh I'm blanking on
The
fucking
daughter,
names here.
the daughter Charlotte
No, not the daughter
or
Charlotte.
Darlene or Ruth.
Ruth, yeah.
Yeah.
She's Ruth is my favorite character. She's the only one that's like routinely like, I'm just this is my goal, and this is why I'm acting like this because I'm going for that, and everybody's just trying to fuck with her in every different ways, and she just wants to look out for her cousins and make a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of money for herself. Um, Jonah in this season is a little dick. Definitely needs a spanking. But in his defense, his mom was just being a complete bitch to him. So I can understand why he's doing the things he's doing. But like during watching the show, it's always like I don't know if it's just me. It's like I had to stop and like ask a question like in this situation, who am I thinking is making the better decisions? Is it Marty or is it Wendy? And like I put this question out to Facebook, and everybody's like, "Fucking Marty is the one that everybody should be listening to." Like no one should be listening to
Yes.
Wendy. Like everybody should just like do what Marty says, and their lives will probably be a lot better. But Wendy is just ruthless. She is even more ruthless in this season than past seasons, which is saying a lot because she was ruthless in every last season. But
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of the stuff like that happens at the end could have been avoided if Wendy wasn't just trying to be a controlling bitch to everybody.
Right. Right.
If she just listened to her husband and just let things go, maybe a character or two would still be alive. That's not a spoiler because motherfucker's gonna die in this show.
Right. Right. Right.
But overall, like, yeah, I can't wait to see the end game for this. I don't think it's going to end well for at least some of these characters, but my hope is because they already shown in the beginning, the very first episode, the very first something happening to the family, but it's kind of like a flash forward, but we don't know how that situation comes about.
Mm-hmm.
But I am excited to see it. I hope Ruth's path uh leads to her getting out of it safely, but I doubt that's going to happen. But other than that, yeah, I can't wait for part 2, which will happen later this year because I like this show. It's just stressful as fuck.
Yeah, I'm jumping right there with you on that same vein, but I want to first and foremost say I'm about to coin a new term called Ozarking. Like Ozarking. So what does that mean? The ability to make drama so uncomfortably tense to the point that it almost feels like a horror movie, but it isn't any slasher or like supernatural being. It's just the drama of a situation being so tense that it feels like a horror movie. This show does that probably better than anything I've ever seen on TV, watched in movies. Like I said again, it borders almost on horror movie tension. The way this show makes you feel as one decision leads into another decision, and this show is the perfect example of how one's decisions, depending from the perspective of another individual, dictates the response. And sometimes these responses aren't what me and you would say to do. Sometimes some of the responses are ludicrous. Some of the responses go like, "Why would you do that?" Look, man, this show is Ozarkian, you know. So
it's like a Greek tragedy,
right? This show is like watching someone eat a light bulb. Like, you know it ain't going to end well, but you're still going to kind of watch it to be like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you're squinching your teeth. But yeah, I'm still watching. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in an absolutely good way. So people go, so look, the season finally shows us that we all kind of always want it, which is Marty and Wendy kind of almost being as close as they can possibly be to a united front. Not quite 100% united, but closer than they've probably ever been in any other season. The issue is that the chessboard of power is changing, and all the interests of everybody seems to be the same. They just have different ways to see how they want to get there or meet there. The storylines, basically the storylines and the interpersonal relationships is the tissue of this whole show. Because again, you see like Marty actually kind of enjoys laundering money, but he doesn't like the violence and the pretty much, hey, I'll kill your family every other 5 minutes that comes along with it. And you notice that point when like he mentions about, his son laundering money. He goes, man, at 14. Like, and Wendy's like, don't be proud of that. Like, because Marty's like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Like, Wendy wants to leave this situation, but she wants to leave it like with prestige and being somebody and having something that she can hang her head on instead of just wanting to leave and just being a nobody with a bunch of money. Even Charlotte, they're making her have urgency in her decisions about what her future could be versus what it should be in the reality if her family weren't, criminals versus like what it could be because her family are criminals. And I'm like, Ruth is that character that you just want the best for her. You just seems like her whole life has just been scrapping to find that one good hustle or one good move that can make her not even get her out, but make her feel important. Like Ruth's storyline is just wanting to be wanted. Like Marty took an interest in her and she was ecstatic and she was Marty's number 2. And then things happen with that. And then she gets another group and she's working with them really heavily. And she thinks this may be a fit because, some of his family and things happen with that. And it's, can Ruth, and even when Ruth had a bit of happiness with somebody, which is season 3, like that got taken from her.
What happens.
It's just that she just wants somebody to take an interest in her and show her that, yeah, she is smart. She is important. She is worthy. And I love just that storyline because Ruth is a ride or die, man. Even with all the stuff going on with her and these characters, she's still willing to protect certain parts of the family and do things where you should be like, no, go eat a dick. So that's my thing on Ruth. Also, let's just go ahead and do it, man. I know it's unprecedented because she likes melanin, but we got to start putting Darlene in the Gangsta Hall of Fame. Like, right up besides Omar for The Wire.
Darlene don't give a fuck about nobody. Don't give a
Darlene needs to be in the Gangsta Hall of Fame.
Don't call her
redneck. My mama. Oh, my mama, she need to be on it because Darlene, I'm going to make sure y'all understand this. Darlene doesn't give 2 Fs. She is about that life from the moment she steps on this earth. She's been about that life, and it don't stop. And I mean, it's on some Miley Cyrus twerking. It's just no doubt. Like
she is all about that. If this
don't put her in the upper echelons of the Gangsta Hall of Fame. I mean, season 3, she shot a guy's joint off. Like
shot a guy's right in his dick.
Yeah. Like,
With a
we
shotgun.
got to start putting respect on her name. I'm sorry. I know the melanin ain't there, but she got to get some respect on her name. It's just a bad SOB.
I would
The
never
only
hang out with
critique I
her.
have. Oh,
Never,
yeah,
ever,
absolutely,
ever.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Like, the only critique I have is, like you said, the Jonah thing. I think I wanted, and this is more me, because I think I wanted Jonah to be more of a combination of Marty and Wendy's ruthlessness and Marty's savviness with the game. I wanted some combination of that. Instead, I know he's only 14, so I can't expect that from him. But instead, we just got the same trope we get with all kid actors: the whiny, nobody understands me, I'm against my parents trope. Like, it's just so overplayed, and I don't. Yeah, it's just so overplayed, and I wish.
Bangs.
Right. A show so creative as Ozark, I wish they could have taken another thing. But I'm gonna say this about this show, man. This show is a walking, living legend. And if you ain't watching this, you need to get on it, man. Because it's one of them shows that when it's over, we're gonna talk about amongst the Breaking Bads, the Wires, the Sopranos. Like, it's gonna be in that echelon. It's gonna be in that
first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Facts, because it's just so good, man. And I can't speak more glowingly of it. I enjoyed this season. Every episode, because I felt like it was moving a little slow. Because usually in these seasons, about 2 or 3 episodes, something ground shaking happens. This one, it was like, nah, we're gonna just tick. We're gonna put a little stuff in here to make you feel kind of worried. But okay, nah, that's not the payoff. Just wait and wait. By the time you get to episode 7, oh my god,
nothing crazy really happens until the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And
they built that tension so they just ratcheted up every episode. So by the time you get to 6 and 7,
also Omar Navarro's nephew. What's his face? Julian. I don't know.
Javier or
Javier.
Javi. Yeah.
Get him out of here. Like, how do you go to Harvard and still be like about this life, or Yale? I guess everybody who goes to Yale and Harvard is about that life, because that's the only thing they reproduce out there.
Or the fact that, like, the flights from, like, Mexico to Ozark must be cheap, because that joke
must be cheap as hell.
and quick, because every time we turn around, he's there, then he's back in Mexico. He's there, then he's back in Mexico. Like
y'all must get frequent flyer miles. Like, I got like 3,000 points at the Radisson, man. I can just hang out there.
Right.
And they go to Chicago pretty quickly too. And I've done a drive from St. Louis to Chicago, and that's nowhere near the Ozarks. And that shit took forever. And they go from Ozarks to fucking Chicago.
I think
twice in an episode. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, easy, just easy, buddy. Shit, like, those problems. So you had to give a rating to this one. Jason, what would you give Ozark season 4, part 1?
4.5 out of 5. This is nearly one of those just perfect shows. I mean, it's just good drama. Like, every aspect of it, for the most part, is just plain good. Like, even when you get to whiny Jonah.
Yeah.
Even then, you're still like, shit, the kid's still doing fucking awesome ass shit.
Yep.
So it's still good. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
0.5 off because Ruth is not my girlfriend.
I'm giving it a 4.5. O faces. Yeah, that O face isn't for the one you normally get. The O face is like, oh shit, that kind of O face. So 4.5. If you're not enjoying this and then liking this, I don't know what else to tell you, because it's baller. One of the biggest problems that we weren't around is because I drank all my nerd focus. I was out. I was lethargic. I was tired. I couldn't focus, man. So if you want to keep us making these things regularly, we got to keep us focused. And how you keep us focused is by you buying some nerd focus. The link will be in the description. And then that way, when they give us money, we can give it back to them by buying nerd focus.
More nerd focus.
Stay focused. So it's just a cycle of nerd focusing all the way through the nerd focusing of the most nerd focusing. And we all will be pleased. We all will be focused. We all will have the brain power to give you all what you need and all what you want all the times. I mean, Jason was drinking it, and he may have some prospects for a girlfriend because he was able to talk to girls.
No, I tried. Look, some problems cannot be fixed.
That being said, please go ahead and try some Nerd Focus. The link is in the description.